So you all know Garfield, right? That fat orange cat that hates Mondays and loves eating lasagna. Well, what if I told you that this lovable character actually might have a pretty dark secret? There was this show that ran from 2009 all the way to 2016 simply called The Garfield Show. It was a 3D animated cartoon all about Garfield and his misadventures with Odie and John. The show has become infamous for its more surrealist humor and the hilarious animation errors, but there's apparently content from this show which had some pretty disturbing material in it. The legends say that there was an episode from the show that was never actually supposed to air at all, and that episode was titled Garfield's Horrible Joy. The entire episode was just Garfield going on a killing spree and trying to scare the viewer. A story about someone actually watching this episode would eventually be posted online and would be seen by tons of people. But is this episode even real? Does the Garfield Show really have a dark secret? Or is this all just a big fat fake? Let's dive in. Almost a decade ago, a story would be posted online which talked about a supposedly lost episode from the Garfield Show titled Garfield's Horrible Joy. The author apparently found the episode in a DVD of the show and watched the whole thing through. Now, since the story is a bit more on the shorter side, I'll read this entire thing to you guys. However, the description of what happens in this episode is so violent that I'm gonna try to make it sound a bit less gruesome since I'd prefer not to get demonetized today. So if you're ready, let's read the story, shall we? I'm a pretty big fan of Garfield, you know, the comic strip character that's a fat orange cat with black strips that loves lasagna. You probably do know about him and his huge fan base, but something that many Garfields don't know is that the Garfield had some TV shows like Garfield and Friends. The majority of these were hand-drawn shows that followed most of the traits that the comics had, but there's one show I want to talk about called The Garfield Show. This was a computer animated show that was like Garfield and Friends but with much better quality and a few more characters. I loved watching this show and so many others did that they had to keep it going to this day. But the show was supposed to stop at season 4 for reasons I will tell you in a second. When I was a garage sale looking at some stuff to get, my eyes laid on a Garfield DVD which had the first 4 seasons of the Garfield Show. So I asked if I could pay for this and the guy said to take it for free. I was so overjoyed that I ran to my house and put it into my DVD player. It started the intro where I could choose any episode from seasons 1 to 4, but at the very bottom of the list was an episode called Garfield's Horrible Joy. I had no idea what this episode was, but out of curiosity, I clicked on it. I wish I hadn't clicked on it. It started out with Garfield sitting on the chair and eating what looked like a dog's ear. I was a little confused but thought it was just a little bit of lasagna. Then Normal came over and said hi and kept bragging about how he's the cutest cat in the world. This is when things got scary. Garfield then closes his eyes for 2 seconds, they stay closed. Then he opened his eyes, revealing 2 bloodshot eyes. Then Garfield grabbed Normal by the neck and threw him against a wall. Then he pulled out a butcher knife and then slowly approached Normal. I was terrified at what I saw, but I had to see what happened. Then Normal opened his eyes, revealing to him Garfield with bloodshot eyes and a knife. Then Garfield, put the sharp object in the chest of Normal. Then came some teen that scared me for life about eating meat. Garfield ate some turkey, all the while Normal screaming. I threw up at the sight but had to see the end, regretting it. After that, Garfield went up the stairs and saw John working on his computer. Then John turns around. Oh hey Garfield. Garfield then leaped up at John, putting the sharp object in his eye. John just laid there. Then it showed a close-up of the front door. For 10 seconds, nothing happened. Then Garfield's face appeared. He had demonic sharp teeth and huge bloodshot eyes, and a message repeatedly flashed on the screen saying, "I'm gonna end you, Sam, Sam, Sam." I immediately took the disc and smashed it to bits. I will never see Garfield or any cat again, because every time I see a cat, I always see those red bloodshot eyes. Watching that disc has let out a demon, and that demon is after me. As I record this, Garfield is slamming on my door, meowing his normal meow from the show. And I know that when he kills me, the last thing I see are those red bloodshot eyes. So yeah, that was the story. I hope you like my little family-friendly alterations to the story, by the way. Compliments are appreciated. Anyways, pretty disturbing stuff, am I right? But is all this even true? You know the drill. It's time to investigate. Alright, let's start off with taking a look at the website with the story. This story was posted onto the Trollpasta Wiki, which is a place for storing creepypasta stories that are just really bad. But like I said in the bootleg SpongeBob and Rap Rat videos, not all creepypasta stories are 100% fake and could be based based off of real events. We saw this with Rap Rat. The actual creepy stuff that happened was fake, but the board game itself was 100% real. So there is a chance that maybe the grammar in this story made it troll pasta worthy, but the episode itself could still be real. There doesn't appear to be any screenshots or footage of the episode on here, so I decided to do a little Google search and just simply typed in Garfield's Horrible Joy. I scrolled for only a few seconds before I found something very interesting. I found a post on a forum page which was titled "Scary Episode of the Garfield Show on TV." It was posted in late 2010 by a user named Uno April and talks about the episode actually airing on TV. Hi, so I was just watching the Garfield Show on Cartoon Network and I see one that said Garfield's Horrible Joy. Garfield was killing everyone, had scary red eyes. I tried to find it, but it was gone. Has anyone else seen this? Please let me know. And what I would manage to find in these replies was truly shocking. One user named Foolish1 would reply a few weeks after the original post with actual screenshots of the episode. Oh my god, I remember that too. Your description is totally accurate with the red eyes and the killing. I also remember some part when Garfield was up close to the camera and threatening someone. Don't remember exactly who though. Anyways, I dug a bit online because I was curious about this too and found a few screenshots from the episode. View these at your own risk. And here are the screenshots in question. So yeah, we not only have another description of this episode, but we even have screenshots of the episode itself. But that wasn't all, because a few replies down was this. Coming from user funnyjoke64, they said, "Okay, so I saw this forum post and immediately remembered watching this exact episode. It definitely wasn't supposed to air on TV and was 100% a mistake. However, I recorded this episode and here's the footage right here. Just be warned, it is very disturbing." And with that, they attached a video which showed the entire episode uncut from start to finish. So I took a risk and I downloaded this video and I watched it, and I wish I could unsee what I just saw. It was just as disturbing as the people said it was. I was in pure shock that Garfield could have such a dark secret like this just hidden for years. But yeah, with all of this, there is no doubt that this episode is actually 100% real. I cannot believe it. I was going into this expecting it to be fake, just like many other creepypasta stories, but this was actually real. There was multiple people remember the exact thing, low quality pictures, and even footage of the entire episode. Now, some of you are probably not gonna believe me because of how ridiculous this all sounds and think this is all just fake, but it's not. And to prove it, I am now going to show you the full Garfield's Horrible Joy episode. Before I show you the footage, let me just warn you, this episode is very disturbing. If you want to get good sleep tonight and don't want Garfield to get ruined for you, I would highly recommend not watching it. I had to sleep with the lights on for weeks because of watching this. So without further ado, if you are ready, here is the footage. You have been warned.